Welcome back to the Gridiron Grind with Andrew and Lance. This episode, we're going to just have an overall look at week one, how we did with our game picks, maybe take a look at our fantasy teams. But first, Lance, there's been some moving and shaking with the Eagles. How Roseman has been a busy, busy man. How are you feeling about those two moves?
Um, Love the fact that he never rests, man. He is like such a busy GM. I think this is the seventh move that I think he's made. You got the
Something
Ja'Cory
like that.
Bennett,
I've lost track.
John Mechie, shipping out Kennard, and then
Sam
bringing back
Howell.
Fred Johnson, Sam Howell. So that's five. Zadarius Smith being signed last week on Friday, and then
Hmm.
Tank Bigsby. So yeah, man, he's a busy, busy dude. Constantly
Hmm.
looking at it. So I think what happened, Andrew, is he was looking at it, he's like, zero sacks week one? No, we cannot have that happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. Not acceptable. Yeah. Zadarius Smith, that's a really good sign because you didn't pay anything extra for him. And as a situational pass rusher, he could be really good still. He's a little bit older, so he's not going to get like 12 and a half or 14 sacks, not like he used to. But third down, get him in there, get pressure. Yeah, that's something he can definitely do.
Well, and I just think it's good on their part. Don't rush into a decision. Don't give out more money than you have to. But
Hmm.
also don't put yourself in a spot where you could be more susceptible. But I mean, I've liked it. They also brought in Miles Hinton. I think that's his name, a former cornerback for the Bengals. Not Miles Hinton. What's his name? But they brought in a quarterback. What's
Mike,
Mike? That's right, Mike. Yeah.
okay, that's actually a really decent move there because that was someone who I was kind of hoping the Vikings had their eye on in the offseason because he's a little older, but he's still a really good slot corner.
Yeah. So I think what they're doing is they brought him in kind of as a like, hey, this is what's going to happen. Adoree Jackson and Ja'Cory and Ben, if you guys don't figure things out, we will shut you down and we'll just go
Hmm.
ahead and go with option B, which is move Cooper DeJean outside and we'll put him right there in the slot. So, but don't
Hmm.
rest, man. Constantly look at getting better. I am a little I don't know how to feel about the Tank Bigsby trade. That one is like the Darius Smith is like, I'm there for it. That's a good move. It's a solid,
Yeah.
B at worst, A plus or A minus at best.
Hmm.
But Tank Bixby for a fifth and a sixth, that's a really steep price to pay at this point of the year for a running back. It's not
Yeah.
even starting. I guess that Will Shipley's probably banged up. I heard it could take about 6 to 8 weeks for his ribs to heal. He fractured his rib
Hmm.
in that game, so I understand that you don't want to be empty-handed. Um, they probably aren't as high on AJ Dillon as people thought. Like they think AJ Dillon's fine. He's an okay three at this point of his career,
Hmm.
but they wanted someone else. So, we'll see how it works out. But how I will never let a shortage at a position be the reason why they're not as good. He's going to
Hmm.
continually try to get better. So I love the fact that he's trying for that. And I think it also depends too, though. What's your window, right? The Eagles know this is the window. This is the window right now.
For sure.
When AJ Brown's over 30 and Dallas Goddard's gone, the window could still be there. It's possible, but it's really hard to know at this point. And these moves aren't
Yeah.
like high cost moves. They're not like extremely expensive moves. Um,
Hmm.
so I think it's a good approach so far. I like that. So we'll see how it turns out. And it sounds like Tank Bigsby might be our kickoff guy, which, by the way, speaking of week one, did you see that the return rate on kickoffs was over 70%?
It's extremely high. Yeah, I was going to make that point too because I heard Tank Bigsby. One of the main reasons why the trade was made was because of the return game, and Shipley was on the return game as well, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah.
Yeah, so him being injured, that's a big deal, and returns are a big deal this year. They're important. You can't just get the ball on the 25-yard line because your return man can't run very well. That you can't have that. You need to get it to the 30. You need to get it to the 31, 35, maybe get bigger than that. So that I could see Tank Bixby being a really big contributor in the return game. And then, like you said, being the backup to Saquon while Shipley's out. I think when Shipley comes back, Bigsby's kind of down to the three-ish. But as a return game, I think that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and the other reason too, I think it matters with the yards thing is as the NFL. changes, and we're seeing that even getting you to the 43-yard line, you can attempt a field goal. Which I forgot to mention
Yeah.
this in this last episode, Andrew, which I'm so dumb for not remembering it, but Jake Elliott nailed a 58-yard field goal. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And
it
then
was
Will
huge.
Reichard nailed the 59-yard field goal for the Vikings, tying
Yeah,
the longest for Soldier Field ever in the history of NFL. So yeah,
yeah,
those long field goals are big
yeah.
big time important.
It really is important. So, you got to be able to put yourself in as best as position as possible. And every 5 yards
Hmm.
you don't have to gain with your offense, and you got it instead with your kick return, helps. So, um, we'll see how it goes in week two. Jalen Carter's coming back. How does Adarius Smith and Jalen Carter work together? Nolan Smith,
Hmm.
Jalex Hunt. But I like the fact they're trying to get better. And it's easier at the beginning
Yeah.
of the year to get talent because there were these holdouts. Whereas, in week 10, that's not the time to address the position. It's too late.
Hmm.
That window is it's already gone. And even if you wanted to get like the week 8, week 9 late trades, the price only goes up typically. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. Howard Wolfman's a busy man. He's a busy man, and he's probably not done yet. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a
yeah.
splashy move coming because you guys still have a ton of like fifth, sixth, seventh round picks. Um, and like you say, CB2 is a problem,
Mhm.
and there's some depth areas that could be something. I would be surprised if by like trade deadline, I was like, who went to the Eagles? Really? Okay. Something like that's going to happen. I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised.
I didn't even realize it. They still got 10 picks. So they've still got a robust
Yeah.
draft class for next year, which is crazy. I can't believe after giving up a fifth and sixth, we still have 10 picks. Um,
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, well, he's on the prowl, man. He's looking for options
Yeah.
and ways to get better, and so it's good, man. It's good to have GMs for our teams that are competent,
Hmm.
sound in their financial decisions. So yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was it for me. I just figured we should cover those moves real quick. I think that the Zadarius Smith is an easy B, A minus move. Tank Bigsby's hard because that one I could see ending up being a C plus because if he's not as good of a kick returner, but I understand
Hmm.
too that we had to fill the position, like especially with 70
Right.
plus 73% of kick returns happening on
Yeah.
kickoffs now, as opposed to when it was like the 50s or 40s. It's a huge difference in the
Hmm.
amount of kickoffs that you're going to have every game. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really important. Well, shall we just quickly here touch on how we did in our fantasy league here? I got mine
yeah,
up. Um, I'll just kind of talk about some disappointments I've had. Um, I didn't have a bad week. I ended up taking an L. Wasn't a big L, it was like 20 something points. But a couple of my guys just didn't show up. And when your first round pick scores 5 fantasy points, it's probably going to be a little bit of a struggle. But Nico Collins, 5.5 on the board for me week one. Which, thinking about it for the matchup they had, not a huge surprise. Rams D line just did not give CJ Stroud much time to throw, and so Nico didn't really get many targets. And even the Texans almost won that game. Still, they fumbled in the red zone to try to take the lead, which was one of my kind of upset picks. So I was kind of annoyed by that. I was like, "Come on, you guys are right there. You're battling, and you fumble in the red zone before you can take the lead." Because anyway, but he only had five, and then one of my kind of dark horse guys, Evan Ingram, he only had 6.6 fantasy points. So I was like, and I looked at it, and that one might be a little bit more concerning than the Nico Collins one because Nico Collins just see sure I didn't have time. But Bo Nix threw the ball 40 times, and Evan Ingram got 4 targets. That I might be a little concerned about that. It's week one. Crazy things happen. So I'm not giving up on it yet, but only 4 targets on 40 pass attempts. Not thrilled about that one. And
yeah,
then my opponent, Justin Fields, just went off for 31 fantasy points. He might have even been the highest of the week. It's either him or Josh Allen, but 31 fantasy points. That was big for him. Other than that, it was fairly fine across the board. Just Nico and Evan Ingram getting really low, and then him getting 31 from his quarterback gave me a 20, 25 point loss. But I was actually impressed with JJ McCarthy's fantasy game week one. He had
Mhm.
23 fantasy points. Not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. A
Yeah,
couple guys on my bench did pretty good, so I'm happy about that. But I took an L week one. That's fine. It's week one. My guys will rebound. I still have faith in my team.
yeah. There's still plenty of time to figure things out. And by the way, Josh Allen scored 42.7 points.
Okay.
You know how I know that, Andrew? Because that was how many points my opposing team's quarterback scored, Josh Allen. So
Mm-hmm.
I had a miniature heart attack when I saw
Mm-hmm.
how that game was going because as the entire NFL world is cheering and clapping because of such a great game, I am nervous that I'm about to drop this win. I was up on Sunday night with both my friend Logan and I having one starter remaining on each team. I was up by 40 points. I guess it's two starters for him. And I thought, I'm set, man. I'm up by 40 points right now. I've still got Caleb Williams coming on Monday night. He's got a Dunze. I feel good about this. Like this is going to work out well. Well, it was great until about middle of the third quarter, and then my life just became a nightmare scenario for the next
Mm-hmm.
24 hours. So I wondered if I was going to drop my first win, or my first game. But dude, man, I'm telling you, Sunday night, Monday night football, there always seems to be somebody. And I remember this 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago, I think, that Travis Kelsey went off on one Monday night, got like three touchdowns, and just absolutely
Mm-hmm.
tore up. All that happened to be my opponent's tight end, and that costed me the
Mm-hmm.
game. So
Yep.
yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with my team. Brock Bowers was awesome. He did great. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Travis Hunter looks serviceable. Dallas Goedert, we talked about him. He actually looked pretty good. Jonnu Smith,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of
Yep.
catches, but clutch,
Score a touchdown.
clutch. Yeah. Um, but yeah, the and Jackson Smith and Jigba, dude, 19 points, 19.4 for the Seattle Seahawks. He is
Mm-hmm.
definitely wide receiver one, probably one, two, and three, to be honest.
Yeah, because Cooper Cup looks cooked. He did not look good out there at all. And it's Sam Darnold. He got pressured a lot. Seahawks were in the game though for all the games. So, but yeah, Cooper Cup just didn't look good. It's JSN or bust for them basically.
Yeah. Um, Definitely another comment too I'd make is that defense kicker. Those two you have to look at changing out almost every week, unless you have a solid lineup of games. But like,
Yeah.
I picked Commanders in the draft just because I knew they had a favorable week one matchup. Gave me 11.2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's what you got to look for. You got to be streaming. Got to be
Yep.
constantly thinking about injuries. Maybe a big offensive injury happened. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is crazy, Andrew, but the Saints defense might be an option to stream this week if the 49ers injuries come to fruition the way that we think
That's
they might.
totally fair. Totally
Um,
fair. George Kittle's out. Purdy probably is going to miss this game. That's fair. They look decent against the Cardinals. Cardinals offense isn't like amazing, but it's decent. And the
yeah, it's
Saints played pretty well.
yeah. So that's something I'm keeping my eye on this week. By the way, my condolences to my team or the team I played, Logan. He had the Lions defense, man. That was a bad game. Bad day to be a Lions fan.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they did not look like they were ready. And we've touched on this a little bit, but I think the biggest concern for them. So, I mean, Jared Goff will play better. Amari
Hmm.
St. Brown will play better. Jameer Gibbs will play better. Even though he had like 10 catches, which is really good. But what's concerning is that interior of the offensive line. They did not look good.
Hmm.
And as a Vikings fan, I've known that for our team for the past 3 or 4 years. So I know how big that can be. You can hide it against some teams and you can flourish, but when you get to the really good defensive teams, that's a problem. And that showed against the Packers. I mean, they couldn't run the ball up the middle. Jared Goff had to escape a lot. Micah Parsons had his presence felt. There was one play where he caused Jared Goff to throw quickly, and it was a bad pass. It got picked off. The sack, I don't give Micah Parsons a ton of credit on the sack because Jared Goff is slow, and Micah Parsons just caught him before he threw the ball out of bounds. So, I
Hmm.
mean, it still counts as a sack, but that interception was big time that he caused because he got around Penei Sewell quickly, got to Goff, Goff threw the ball, interception. That interior of the O line is an issue for the Lions.
Well, I mean, I think the Packers put everyone on notice. But that's a team that I liked it, man. I mean, Jordan Love looked good. He looked poised. The way he passed around the ball. I think we're going to continue to see that level of play, and um, we'll see what happens tomorrow night between the Packers and the Commanders. But I mean, they have to come to Lambeau Field. Such a big
Hmm.
advantage for the Packers. I mean, that just lines up so well. But yeah, I mean, I really liked Jordan Love's game. It wasn't like amazing, but it was just
Yeah, the one thing I would say with that is he had a couple good drives, but outside of that, to me, which maybe I'm a little biased, I could be fine with that. I wasn't super impressed because if you look at the box score on running the ball and passing the ball, so they didn't
mhm.
dominate either side. Their defense played well, but offensively, Jordan Love 16 for 22, a buck 88, two touchdowns. It's fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. Maybe they ran the ball well. Well, they only averaged 3.1 yards a carry between everybody. Josh Jacobs 3.5 a carry, 19 carries, 6 yards and touchdown. It's fine. It's not gonna kill you on defense. You contained him mostly. So the Lions defense actually played decently against them. It was their offense that didn't do much. And there was one key moment in this game where Jordan Love throws a bad pass. It's a pick six. The Lions take it back, score a touchdown, and there's a flag on Hutchinson, like an offsides or something, or I forgot what the flag was, but it was a flag on him that brought it back. If that flag doesn't happen, this could be a totally different ball game
Mm,
because the Lions
that's
get that
fair.
pick six, and I mean, they only lost, what, 27-13. So that right there's 27-20, and the Packers might have scored on that drive. I don't know. That was a big turning point because that's what Jordan Love does. He's just not consistent. He has all the talent in the world, phenomenal talent, but his decision making isn't all that great. And that was a bad pick six that just came back because of a flag on Hutchinson. So, I mean, their defense played really well, but offensively, I'm looking at these numbers and it's fine.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think that the running game I'd give a different review than I'd give everything else. I think the running game was not as good. I don't know. I just there's a couple of throws
Hmm.
I was really impressed. I think
Yeah, yeah. Jordan Love has a great arm. That throw, yes, was
The
phenomenal.
Jaden Reed and the Tucker Crafts touchdown. There's even a Matthew
Hmm.
Golden's throw that I was like, wow, that was really. I guess I was impressed with the upside. The upside looked good. It was a good start,
Oh yeah,
and it was
yeah.
so we'll see. I mean, you're right. I mean, that's true. That near interception, which only came back because of a flag. I mean, that definitely could be a problem if that continues for Jordan Love going
Hmm.
forward. And reasonably, we've talked about it. He has the Brett Favre thing going for him. He's a
For
little
sure.
loose. Um, but I don't know. I personally felt like that Jared Goff had plenty of throws that should have been interceptions. I just felt
Yeah.
like he consistently put the ball in places that were not great. And the running game did
Hmm.
nothing to help him out.
Did
But
nothing. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on the Lions. It's concerning. And the Lions do have a decent defense, an underrated defense, so got to give them credit for doing what they did against the Packers offense. But yeah, I mean, averaging 2.1 yards a carry overall, 46 total rushing yards for this offense with Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
And the Packers gave up their best run defender in Kenny Clark to pick up Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is phenomenal. He's not really been known for run defense. And in this game, Detroit can't run the ball to save their life. So I don't know. That's concerning.
Yeah. Um, Definitely it's a put your antennas up. Let's see what happens. I mean,
Hmm.
the other thing too, I would want to mention on this game, Andrew, because I mentioned this before, but I said, and I'm sure there are people that if they listened to it were like, he's crazy. I said that the Hall of Fame game and how flat they came out really
Hmm.
concerned me. And I felt like that flatness carried over right to the regular season.
Hmm.
Deeply concerned about that. I don't know if it's the new coordinators. I don't know if it's, there wasn't a major move this offseason to be excited about as the Lions. I feel like they kind of
Hmm.
just they did Lions things as far as they
Yeah.
kept things going. They signed extensions with Jamison Williams, um, and I have to wonder how much that affects these types of games because that Micah Parsons signing, those fans were going crazy. They were so
Hmm.
excited. You could tell that it was a huge moment for the team, and we'll see. The season builds on, continues on, but
Yeah.
starting out 0-1 in the NFC North, it's not ideal.
And I'll add to that, the Lions' schedule is brutal. I know that the NFC
Mm,
North and I think it's the NFC East and the AFC North, we all play each other. And so every team in the NFC North has basically the same schedule. The key difference is most of the Lions' tough games are on the road. The Vikings' tough games are at home. That's a big difference. Big difference. And the Lions already own one. And I mean, you just look at their schedule. I think they got the Chiefs on the schedule. They got the Ravens. They got the Bengals. They got the Eagles. They got the Commanders. And most of those are away. And they
yeah,
got the Packers again. They got the Vikings twice still.
yeah.
I don't want to be an overreaction to week one, but I'm going to make a bold statement. Lions are missing the playoffs.
Mm, it's totally possible. I think that the bold statement I would make at this point is I think the Lions might be the team number three in the NFC North. I think that
Yeah.
that's totally possible.
I would not be shocked if the Bears beat them this year. I'm not going to predict it, but I wouldn't be
mm.
shocked because they looked good for 3 quarters. They have holes for sure, but I'm concerned about the Lions.
Well, the Ben Johnson factor is going to be big in the Bears Lions games. Can't underrate that. There's
Hmm.
going to be he has insider knowledge, and you can act like that's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. And Ben's
Hmm.
going to be motivated to beat his former team to show like, hey, I'm here. I've
Yep.
arrived. Our team's here. So they ironically play in week two. So we'll see how that goes. That's
That's
going to be
that.
an
Yep.
interesting
That's
matchup.
it. Hmm.
So
Is it at Detroit or at Chicago?
at Detroit. Yeah,
Okay.
it's at Detroit. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Week one was crazy. That Bills comeback.
oh
Aaron
man,
Rodgers throwing 4 touchdowns, which one of them wasn't a touchdown pass. I'm sorry, but that little pop pass to Jonnu Smith. How does Aaron Rodgers get credit for that? Anyway, but he looked good, honestly, overall. He threw 4 touchdown
he did.
passes. They had that crazy comeback win against the Jets, but low key, Justin Fields looked better. He looked really good. I was surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was shocked. I knew he could run the ball. He's very fast, very athletic, but he threw the ball really well. That was shocking to me. Some other crazy things happened, like the Colts. What? Scoring on every single drive?
Yeah.
And maybe even crazier, the Dolphins looked horrid. I mean, that's concerning. I mean, I might make another bold statement, but Tyreek Hill might get traded before the trade deadline.
You think anyone's going to want him?
Well, the Chiefs make sense. They need some receivers, and that reunion kind of makes
Mm,
sense.
okay. Let's
I
see a
don't think it would cost a
possibility.
lot. I don't think it would cost a lot because he's over 30. He's doesn't have much years left, but the Chiefs window is now still. So with all their receiver problems, that would make sense. Throw a third or a second to Miami straight up for Tyreek Hill. They might accept it because their season has a chance to go off the rails. And I would not be surprised if Tyreek Hill is not on that team by like week 7.
I'm really surprised that the Dolphins stood pat. I did not like their moves this offseason.
Hmm.
The Minka Fitzpatrick trade was a good trade. That part was fine. But to really think that going with Zach Wilson as your backup quarterback, continuing to think that Tua was going to be a productive quarterback, and leaving Tyreek after everything that happened at the end of last year, I mean, just a recipe for disaster. Um,
Hmm.
and Mike McDaniel's he's looking like a fraud coach right now.
And another semi, but might not be super hot take. He's going to be the first coach fired.
Still a long season. You never know. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. It's tough to say.
It's between him and
Oh,
Dayball for me. But if Dayball switches to his rookie quarterback to Dart, that might save his season. That might save his
well,
coaching job.
what is Dayball doing? I mean, it's Jackson Dart. I mean, it's so
Oh,
obvious. Wilson looked so
he looked bad.
cooked. He looked
And the
so
thing
bad.
is, they were in that game because their defense was holding the Commanders back enough that
Yeah.
if the Giants got any kind of offense, that was going to be a game because the Commanders didn't pull away till that end around to Debo Samuel to go up 2 touchdowns. Before that, it was close enough where the Giants still had life, but their offense did nothing because of Russell Wilson.
By the way, I'd like to take a moment to take a hat tip for that because this is what I called in our picks last week. Because I liked where you were coming from the Giants command and the
Hmm.
Giants and Commanders game, but I
Hmm.
said the offense is so bad.
Yep, yep, that's what swung me as well. I wanted to pick the Giants, but I can't. If Jackson Dart was starting even as a rookie, I
Absolutely,
might have done it.
totally different
I
ballgame.
might have done
Yeah.
it, but I couldn't
Hmm.
do it with Russell Wilson.
Well, and I just that's what I don't understand is like you know where you're going. You know, like when the Eagles traded Sam Bradford a few years ago and they put in Carson Wentz, I gave them so much credit because they knew where they were going. You know
Hmm.
which direction you're heading. There's no reason to play around if you know that your first quarterback is not going to pan out. There's no point. I also wanted part two for week one. I wanted to give a hat tip to was the Las Vegas Raiders. Great win against the Patriots. A lot of people are going
Yeah,
to overlook it, but go through, look at the stats. Geno Smith looked good. Trey Tucker
yeah.
looked good.
In the second
Um,
half, the Raiders came to play because I think the Patriots had a first half lead going into
yeah.
halftime, and the Raiders said, "Nope, we're not accepting that." They came back and they won. Really good showing, really good win. Yep, I'm with you.
Well, but that's the Geno Smith Pete Carroll combo. Like that's what they bring.
It
You know,
makes it happens. Yep.
the games that you should have lost, you have a chance at winning. And that doesn't mean they're going to be an amazing team, but they look good. Oh, we make jokes about the Chargers going to charge. Great win in week one to go on
I
to
mean,
Brazil and to win.
Herbert
Wow,
looked like the best
he
quarterback
did.
in the league for a little bit. He was just wheeling and dealing. They couldn't run the ball, which is a little concerning, just
Concerning.
a little bit.
Agreed.
But they
Hmm.
but they made up for it because they couldn't run. All right, fine. We'll just pass the ball all over the place, and they had a ton of success. Now, would you say that if the Chiefs didn't lose Xavier Worthy, like literally the third play, would the Chiefs win because it was still a nail biter possible? If Xavier Worthy was out there because that was their game plan,
Hmm.
Chiefs might have pulled that out. But got to give credit to the Chargers. They did what they had to do, and Herbert looked amazing.
Yeah. Well, and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen had a great
Hmm.
day. Oh, and Johnston. You got to give that guy credit. I
Quentin
mean,
Johnston, yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, I think.
yeah, I mean that receiving core looked rounded. I mean they looked solid, they looked
Yep.
good. Um, but the run game for sure, as we get going in the season, that's going to be something to monitor. So
Yeah, they got to get that going. Amar Hampton had a ton of carries compared to Najee. I think Najee Harris had 1 touch, which that could be just he was coming back from his like eye thing, I think it was, and they just wanted to limit him. But I think he had 1 touch the whole game. That's something to monitor. This might
uh,
be Amar Hampton's backfield.
yeah, so yeah, I mean we'll see what happens. It's a long season. You can't get too high
Hmm.
after week one. You
Yes.
got to stay
And you
nice and
can't get
level.
too low either. You can't get too low either. He's like, hey, week one happened. Let's regroup,
Yeah,
see what we can do week two.
yep. So excited, man! I cannot wait to get to our game picks tomorrow. It's going to be fun.
Yes. Yes. I haven't made mine yet, but I'm working on that tonight.
Okay. All righty. Looking forward to it. So I think that where we stood after week one was 9-7 for you, 12-4 for me. So we'll see what week two brings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Few of those games, few of those coin flip games didn't land my way, landed your way. We'll see what happens this week.
You never know, man.
Yep.
It's constantly changing. So never know.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the Gridiron Grind with Andrew and Lance. We'll do our game picks next episode, see how we do with that. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.